Welcome to the course Data Science. The subject code is 21 CSS 303T. This course is designed for the MTech integrated. I'm Dr. M. Uma, Associate Professor, Department of Computational Intelligence, SRM Institute of Science and Technology. Before going to discuss about the data science, we should understand what is the objective of our course. The first objective of the data science courses, we should understand the relationship between the data, then identifying the different data structure to represent the data, and identifying the data manipulation and the cleaning technique using Python libraries, and constructing the graph plot to represent the data using Python packages. Finally, by using all the four objectives, after learning the four objectives, then we can apply the principles of the data science technique to predict and forecast the outcome of the real world problem. Let's get into the data science basics. In the data science basics, we should understand different data types, different data structures, and life cycle of the data science process. Now, we will discuss what is the different facet of the data and the life cycle of the data science process. And also we will discuss Python packages required for the data science. And also we will discuss data acquisition method, how to gather the information from the different sources like web API, open data sources, and web scraping. We will see now what is data science. Data science is a deep study of the massive amount of data, which involve the extracting meaningful insight from the raw structured and unstructured data that is processed using the scientific method, different technology, and algorithms. So it is the multidisciplinary field that uses tools and technique to manipulate the data so that we can find some new solution in meaningful way. The data science uses the most powerful hardware programming system and the most efficient algorithm to solve the data related problems. Simply, we can see it is the future of artificial intelligence. So data science is the science of analyzing the raw data using statistics and machine learning technique with the purpose of concluding the information, concluding the research. So simply we can say that data science is all about asking the questions and analyzing the raw data and modeling the data using various complex efficient algorithms and visualizing the data to get better perspective, means better understanding. And finally, we can understand to make a better decision and finding the result. So what is data analysis? Let's suppose we want to travel from station A to station B. So by car. Now we need to take some decisions such as which route will be the best route to reach the faster at the location, in which route there will be no traffic jam, and which will be the cost effective. So these are the three main factors. One is best route, and which route there will be no traffic jam and the cost effective. The three things is the input here. And we will get the appropriate answer from these decisions. So this analysis of data is called the data analysis. So we are collecting all the three data. Based on the data only, we are taking the decision. So which is a part of the data science. And the different facet of data. Different facet of data means the different data structures. So one is, so the data may be a structured one or semi-structured or unstructured one. We will discuss now what is the structured one. Structured one is nothing but it concerns all the data which can be stored in the database SQL in table with the rows and columns. That is, it simply says it is a table format. So they have relational key and can be mapped into pre-designed field. And today, those data are most processed in development and the simplest way to manage the information because already given the proper format. So, but structured data represent only 5 to 10% of all the informatics data. The next one is the semi-structured data. semi-structured data, the information that does not reside in any relational database, but that does have some organizational property that make it easier to analyze. With some process, you can store them in relation database, but semi-structure exists to escape space, clarity, or compute. So, but structured data, semi-structured data, it represents few part of the data only, the 5 to 10% only. So best example for the semi-structured means JSON, CSV, XML documents. You can say it is the semi-structured documents. What is unstructured data? Unstructured data represent around 80% of the data. It often includes text and multimedia content, means maybe it is audio or video. So any combinations or combination of both. So example, include the email messages, word processing documents, video, photos, audio files, presentations, web pages, or many other kind of business documents called as the unstructured format. So we can't expect it is in the proper format. So it is a combination of both. So unstructured data is everywhere. In fact, most individuals and organizations conduct their lives around the unstructured data one. So just as with the unstructured data is either machine generated or human generated. What is machine generated structure? Structure of data. So some example for the machine generated unstructured data, satellite images. So this includes the weather data or data that the government captures in its satellite surveillance imagery. Just think about the Google Earth and you get the pictures. These are the satellite images. These are generated by the machine. And the photographs and video, this includes the security, surveillance, and the traffic video, and the radar or sonar data. This includes the vehicular, meteorological, and the seismic oceanography. These are the machine-generated data. Human-generated unstructured data. So in unstructured data, maybe a computer-generated, machine-generated, or human-generated. So human-generated social media data. So this data is generated from the social media platform, such as YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. These are the social media data. And mobile data also, this includes the data such as the text messages and location information. Everything is the human-generated data. Website content, like some unstructured content, that means YouTube content, some Instagram. These are the website content. So these are generated by the humans. Then a natural language. Natural language is a special type of unstructured data. It is a challenging to process because it requires knowledge of specific data science technique and linguistics. And natural language processing community has had success in entity recognition, topic recognition, summarization, and sentiment analysis. But models trained in one domain don't generate well to other domains. Then graph-based or network-based. So natural language also one type of structure, data representing in the NLP, means natural language field. So it is a unstructured data. Then graph-based or network data. So in graph theory, in graph is the mathematical structure to model pairwise relationship between the object. So the graph or network data is, in short, data that focuses on relationship between a relationship or adjacency of the objects. The graph structure uses nodes, edges, and property to represent and store the graphical data. So graph-based data is natural way to represent the social network. So in this example, all is represented in the node and edges. Okay, here, Florin and Williams is somewhere, both are different network, but the people are linked in some way. Okay, so friends in social media are an example of graph-based data. Audio, images, video, streaming data, these are the unstructured data. So streaming data is the data that is generated continuously by the thousands of data sources, which is typically sent in the data record simultaneously and in small size, maybe a kilobytes. Then another example, we can say the log files generated by the customers using their mobiles or web application or online game activity. So what's trending on the Twitter are live sporting, sports and music event and stock marketing. These are the streaming data. So why we need the data? Why we need the data sciences? One of the reasons for the acceleration of data science in recent year is enormous volume of data currently available and being generated. Not only the huge amount of data being collected about many aspects of the world and our lives, but we concurrently have the rise of inexpensive computing. So this has a formed the perfect storm in which we have a rich data and the tool to analyze it. So advancing computer memory capacity and more enhanced software, more competent processor, and now more numerous data scientists with the skill to put this to use and solve the questions using this data. So we need of the data scientist. So one of our famous example of the data science in action in the form of from 2009, in which some researchers at Google analyzed 50 million of commonly searched words over the 5 years period and compared them against CDC, that is the Center of Disease Control and Prevention data on flu outbreaks. So what is the aim of research? The aim of the search was to understand if some particular searches harmonized with the outbreak of flu. So they are checking the searches are related to the outbreak of flu. And one of the advantage of the data science and working with big data is that it can distinguish the correlation. In this case, that distinguished 45 words that had a strong correlation with the CDU flu outbreak data. So, and using this data, they were able to predict the flu outbreak based only on usual Google searches. Without the mass amount of data, these 45 words could have not been predicted beforehand. So this is the big the reason why we need of the data science. So what is data? Data science. What is data? Data is nothing but it is sometimes discussing what data science is. It is necessary to spend some time looking at what exactly the data. So as given in the Wikipedia, a set of value of qualitative and quantitative variables. So quantitative variables like country of origin, gender, religion, etc. So this is usually represented by the words, not number, and they are not indexed or ordered. This is the qualitative data. Okay, so we can't measure the country of origin and gender, religions. Usually it is represented by the word, not a number. So these are qualitative variables. These are referred as a qualitative variables. On the other hand, the quantitative means this information regarding quantity. So the quantitative measures are normally represented by numbers and are estimated on the constant order scale. They are something like weight, height, age, and blood pressure. I hope you understand now what is the qualitative variable and quantitative variable. So qualitative means we are representing by using the word, gender, religious, right, like that. And the quantitative is some measurement, some numbers. We are measuring using some number. So this is the data. We are measuring the data in two ways, qualitative and quantitative. The next topic is, so far we have discussed about the different facet of data. Different facet of data, that is, we have discussed the different data structure like the structured data, semi-structured data, and unstructured data. Under the unstructured data, we have a human-generated data and machine-generated data. So structured data, I hope you understand, that is, we have a table form, like a table, rows and column. We represent this one as the structured data. Then SQL database tables and all we are representing as a structured data. And unstructured data, it is some unstructured data it is not in the proper means semi-structured. Okay, semi-structured means not in the proper table format. Maybe you can refer as a CSV file, JSON file. That is semi-structured. Semi-structured, we can represent this as a semi-structured. And unstructured means it is maybe a video, audio. These are the unstructured. Okay, the or combination of both. So human generated means, so when we are using the mobile phone, we have some text message And in YouTube, some messages we are seeing Instagram and Facebook. These are the some unstructured example for the human generated messages. And machine generated means taking surveillance camera through the camera, it capturing the images, then satellite images, capturing the through the satellite images, it's capturing some information and converting and giving to us for the prediction. Okay, these are the machine generated data. Okay, then the next one is the life cycle of the data science process. So typically, the data science process consists of 6 steps. Okay, so in the given mind map, the first one is data science. First, the goal of the data science process is setting the research goal, retrieving data and data preparation, data exploration, data modeling, and finally presentation and automation. So these are the 6 steps for the data life science of the data science process. So what is the setting the research goal? In data science is mostly applied in the context of an organization. So when the business asks you to perform the data science project, you will first prepare a project charter. The charter contains information such as what you are going to research, how the company benefits from that, what data and resources you need, their timetable and deliverable content. That is a case study. The second one is first we are preparing the our requirement. That is called as a project charter. The second one is the data preparation. So the data collection is an error-prone process. In this phase, you enhance the quality of the data and prepare it for use to subsequent steps. The phase consists of 3 sub-phases. One is the data cleaning. In data cleaning, we remove the false value from the data source and inconsistencies across the data sources. And data integration, it enriches the data sources by combining information from multiple data sources. Then data transformation is ensuring that the data is in suitable format for use in your model. Okay. So this is the 3 phases are very, very, very important for the data science project. So once we collected the information, we fixed the business goal for your project, then the first thing you have to do what data collection. So while collecting the data, it should be an error prone. So the first one, you should apply the data cleaning. You have to search, you have to see any unnecessary data are there in the data sources. If so, immediately we have to remove it. Sometimes the false data may occur in the data sources. So everything we should remove it. After data cleaning process, the second one is data integration. This data integration, combining all the information from the multiple data sources. And finally, we are transforming to ensuring that the data is in the suitable format for our model. Then the third one is the data exploration. Data exploration is concerned with building a deeper understanding of your data. So you try to understand how the variable interact with each other, the distribution of the data, and whether there are any outliers. Outlier is nothing but like irrelevant data for our required irrelevant data, whether it is significant data or not. If it is not relevant to our work, then this is called as outlier. So to achieve this, you mainly use the descriptive statistics and visual techniques and simple modeling. So this step often goes by the abbreviation of EDA, exploratory data analysis. Then the last one is data modeling and model building. In this phase, you use a model that is domain knowledge and insight about the data you found in the previous steps to answer the research question. First, we select the technique from the field of statistics, machine learning, and operational research, and so on. So building a model is an iterative process that involves selecting the variable for the model, executing the model, and model diagnostics. Finally, the presentation and automation. Finally, you present the result to your business. These results can take many forms, ranging from presentation to research report. Sometimes you will need to automate the execution of the process because the business will want to use the insight you gained in another projects or enable an operational process to use the outcome from your model. Then the previous description of the data science process gives you the impression that you walk through this process in linear way. But in reality, you often have to sit back and rework certain findings. For instance, you might find outlier in the data exploration phase that point to data input errors. So as a part of the data science process, you gain incremental insights, which may lead to the new questions. To prevent a rework, make sure that your scope of the business question clearly or thoroughly at the start. Okay, so these are the process of data science or life cycle of data science. So far we have discussed about the different facet of data and life cycle of data science process. All the 6 steps we have discussed. Then finally, we are entering into the programming concept, that is array. Array is nothing but for storing the collection of data, in the memory. So first of all, we should know, see, after the introduction, then in the syllabus, it is given then some Python packages. Before we get into the Python packages, we should know what is the data set, right? So in Python programming, Python language, if you want to use the data set, you should understand what is data set, how to use the data set, how to load the data sets. Normally, the data are available in the CSV format or Excel or JSON format, as we already discussed the different data. So how to use this CSV files, Excel files. So the CSV files in the Excel files and all, using the pandas library, you can load the data sets. Okay. So we are using the pandas library to read the data set, to load the data set. So you can use the syntax for importing the packages, import, then pandas is the library name as a PD for the easy understanding. You can use the shorter name PD. So you can use any variable name here. Then normally for clear understanding, we are using the short name of PD, pandas. Then if you want to work with the numeric values on the arrays matrix, you can use a NumPy, numeric Python package. So using the same syntax, whatever the package you want to use, you can use the keyword as an import and package name as then alias name. Okay, I'm using here is the NP. The NP is the shortcut of NumPy, NP. Then visualizing the data using the chart. So whatever the data you are loading and you can view the visualize manner. So you can use the package called as a matplotlib. So import matplotlib.pyplot as a plotter, PLT. Okay, so here we are using that matplotlib is the package. So under the package, we have a many sub packages, right? So which package particularly if you want, you can use the pyplot. So other functions also there. But particularly I'm going to use whatever the plotting under the pyplot. So what is the use of this one? Directly if I use the matplotlib, what happens? So it will take the time for loading all the packages like dot star means whatever comes under the main packages, everything will be loaded and it will take a time. So particularly I want to use only the particular for functions, packages, sub packages, then directly you can use like this. So it will reduce the time for loading. Then the Seaborn package. So this also for the plotting purpose, but advanced visualization functionality will support. Then you can use the SciPy for working with the machine learning algorithm. I hope you understand how to load for loading which package is supporting pandas. And if you want to work with the array kind of thing, some numeric data, then you should use the package called NumPy. Okay, so what is the short name of PD is pandas, you can use any variable for the packages. So for easy understanding, for convenient use, you can use the PD, NumPy, whatever. Then NumPy. NumPy is the short name for numeric Python used for working with the array. So how to create the NumPy array? Okay, so already we discussed. To work with the numeric data, you can use the package is called the NumPy. So import NumPy as the engine. And how to create the array? So the syntax for creating the array is the name of the np dot array. Array is the function. NP is the package name. So under the NumPy, so whatever the function you want to use, you have to refer the NumPy object. So np dot array, then it's the array. So you have to specify the square bracket. So within your bracket, you have to specify the square bracket. So you can create the 1D array. So you can type using the print, then it will display. Then if you want to know what type, then you can use the type. Maybe it is an object or integer string, whatever. If you want to know the type of the data, then you can use the print type array. The next one is the pandas library. So to analyze the numeric data for working with the numerical data, then to analyze the data, so any kind of the data, if you want to analyze, then you can use the pandas. So you can load the data and you can analyze. So for loading the data, you should use pandas library. Then the syntax for the pandas library is pd dot, because already I create the name for the means a pd for the pandas. Then for upload or load the data CSV file, you can use the function read underscore CSV. Then data.csv is already existing in my my system. So you can use directly data.csv. If suppose if it is any different folder or path, you can specify the path. Now you can convert the CSV to string method. Okay, using the string method, you can convert as a string type. Okay, so see the example. Now I'm going to create the data set. Okay, so data, then equal to, then here number of rows and column you have to specify. Pandas is it contains the rows and columns. So my rows is creating calories, that 420, that is one type of array. 420 means my title of the data is calories, and the data are 420, 380 and 390. Okay, so this is the first row is calories, and the respective values are the numeric values. And the second column name is duration, and the respective values of the first row is 50, second row is 40 and 45. Okay, that is, it contains the rows and column. Okay, then the my first row, I'm creating the column name as the calories and duration, and respective column, respective rows are 420, 50, 380, 40 and 390, 45. Now this one I'm going to load it as a data set. I'm going to load in the data frame. So using the data frame, pd.data frame, then I'm giving the data. So automatically it will be taken as a table format. So when you display, you want to see the output, then you can display using the print then a function variable name. How to view the data? So first you want to see whatever the data you can create 100 data, 1000 data or 1 million data. If you want to see the first 5 rows, then you can use the head function. So data frame support many functions. Head is one of the function to show the number of rows. If you are not specify anything, then by default it will display the 5 rows. And the last 5 rows means tail function you can use. Then you can use the describe method to display the data set details. And you can print, you want to show the information. You want to see the information about the data, then you can use the info. Then data set loading. So scikit-learning modeling process. So data set loading, a collection of what is data set. First of all, you should understand what is data set. Data set is a collection of data is called a data set. It is having the 2 components. One is the feature matrix and feature names. Feature matrix is the collection of features. For example, if it is the student, is the data set name is the student detail, then student name, register number, age, course, these are the features. Then we're giving each, these are the features. So in case there are more than one collection of features, you can say collection of features or more than one field. These are called as a feature matrix. And the names are giving the name for the features is called the feature names. And these are the input. Features are called as the inputs and responses called as the output variable. Input variable is features are input variable and response is the output variable. So it is basically depends upon the feature variable. So the response is also called as a target, label or output. So response vector, it is used to represent the response column. So target name is represent the possible value taken by the response vector. So we may have more than one features and we have the one output column. Scikit-learn have a few example data set like Irish and digits for the classification for the person, house, price for some algorithm, machine learning algorithm. We will see so what is inside the data set. Okay, here ID, sepal length, sepal width, and petal width, width, petal length, species. These are the features. Okay, so except the species, remaining and all features. The remaining and all the variables are features, or you can say as an independent variable, and species is called as output variable or dependent variable. How to load the data set? So you can use the sklearn data set. So from sklearn data set import load iris, it is the built-in. So directly you can use load underscore iris. Then here X is the features. You can represent the feature variable. Y is the output variable. That is input variable is X and the output variable is Y. So iris.data, it represents all the features and target is representing the output variable. Then to fetch the features names, you can use the iris.feature underscore names and target names target names is target underscore names. Then you can print the feature names and target names and you can display the first 10 rows. This is the output for the code. Handling the missing values. So what is missing value? So when we have the data set, maybe we may have 100 samples or 1,000 samples, 1 million samples, or means sample means something like the data. Number of rows, 1,000 rows, 1 lakh rows, whatever. So some data set, some rows may have the data or sometimes it may contain 0 values, not a number value or missing. That is called as a missing value. Okay, so the missing value with the missing value, we should not process. We should not process. So we have to clean the missing values. We have to identify the missing value and the irrelevant values, and we have to remove it and remove it. Finally, we can go for the next stage. Okay, so the missing values. So what to do with the missing value? Suppose in my data set, I have a 30% of the rows are contain some fields are missing value. So maybe filled with zeros or empty. Okay, so we should remove those values. Okay, suppose if it is the above 25% or 20% more missing value, then obviously we have to remove the entire row or entire column. Okay, suppose when you are removing more number of rows or number of rows, not a column, number of rows, then it may affect the accuracy. So we have to find the alternate solution that we have to find the mean or medium or mode, then you can replace with the suitable value. Okay, suppose if it is very minimal missing value, means minimal values are missed, then you can particular value will be replaced with mean, medium or mode, anyone, or you can remove the entire row. Suppose in the case of it is not affecting the its accuracy, then you can, so might be 1 or 2 rows only it contain the missing value, then we can remove the entire rows. Means 1 or 2 means we can replace with the mean, medium, mode input agent. If it is more than 25%, then we have to remove entire thing. The first one is handling the missing value, delete the row or columns and replace with the mean or median value. And then we can go for the classification algorithm to predict it. Okay, so maybe if you require the unsupervised ML or unsupervised ML, you can suitable algorithm, you can apply it. See here in the example, gender, age, and the output given. So here the gender is missing. So in this case, either you can remove the entire row, or if it is possible, you can replace with the mean value. It depends on the situation, scenario, you can use it. Then join. So joining means putting the content of 2 or more arrays in a single array. So in SQL, we join the table based on the key, right? Whereas in NumPy, we join the arrays by access. Access nothing but rows and columns. So we pass the sequence of array that we want to join to the concatenate function along with the access. If the access is not explicitly passed, it is taken as a 0. 0 means row. So for the example, just import the necessary packages, NumPy, because we are going to work with the numeric value, and create 2 different array. One is np.array. Then I'm creating the first 3 values, 1, 2, 3. And the second array, I'm creating the 4, 5, 6. Now I'm going to concatenate, means I'm going to joining the 2 array using the concatenate function. So this is syntax for concatenating the 2 arrays. np.concatenate, then array 1 and array 2. Then you can print and you can see the concatenated result. Then array splitter. So we can split an array into 2 array by using the array split function with the array name and number of splitter. Okay, this is the number given. The 1D array is given. Using the split function, we can split up. Okay, suppose the 1D array totally is given is 6 element. Okay, so first create the array with the 6 element, then use the array split function. Then how many array you want to split up. Okay, suppose I want to split as a 3 arrays, then you have to specify the number in the column field. Okay, the whatever in the array underscore split, this function contain the number of rows and column. So array 4 is the number of rows is 6. Number of column is 6. Okay, and number of array you want to split is 3. So it will split as a 2, 2, 2 like 3 rows. Okay, so array will be created as a vector, single vector, row vector. Now I want to create as a 3 arrays. Okay, then you can see the output. Now we can sort the array using the sort function. Okay, np dot, so create array element and use the sort function. Then you will get the sorted numbers. So you can use the np.sort function from the library NumPy library to perform the sorting operation on the array. Okay, this is the example given. So sort element means sort functions used to create a new array where the element are sorted in the ascending order. So the original unsorted element remains unchanged. This is the difference. So when you are using the np.sort, you can create the new array, then you can sorting in the ascending order. Okay, but the original array will not be changed. So it contains the original values. What is indexing? Indexing is the same as in accessing an array element. You can access an array element by referring its index number. The index in NumPy array start with 0. So meaning that the first element has index 0 and second element has the index of 1, like that. Okay, so this is an example for creating the array and accessing the elements. Use the index array. 0 means the first element. Okay, then what is slicing? So multiple values sorted within the array can be accessed simultaneously with array slicing. So to put out a section or slice of an array, the colon operation is used when calling an index. For example, start and stop. Import NumPy as a NumPy, create a necessary packages, and create a array with the 3 elements. And now you can specify the array slicing 0 to 2. So between the 0 to 2, how many elements you can slice it? Okay, start with the 0th position is 2. Then from the 0th element, from the 0th position, the 2 values you can slice it. So start from 2 and 4. So totally 2 elements you can slice it. If you want to know the type of the data, then you can use the D type, mean data type. Whatever the data your element you created, so it is the integer type, means in 64 bytes. So iterating means going through the element one by one. So as we deal with the multi-dimensional array in NumPy, we can do this using the for loop in Python. If you iterate an 1D array, it will go through the each element one by one. So how to create a you know that how to create the element, then how to iterate the element using the for loop in Python. Okay, so import necessary package and create the array using the NumPy and use the for loop or then variable in that array. So the array contains the 3 elements. Then now it will read one by one and it will print.